1 week from today, voters in Toronto will head to the polls to choose that city's next mayor. The frontrunner, John Tory. He got a boost over the weekend with endorsements from the Toronto Sun and the Globe and Mail. And as we speak, he's participating in a mayoral debate. There are only 3 candidates there, Doug Ford and Olivia Chow. Are some other key candidates being overlooked? There are 65 people. That's right, folks, 65 people running to be the mayor of Toronto. A lot of them have no chance, but what's it like to be in that second tier? And what about someone who is in 4th place with a small chance of winning? Can they make an impact? Joining me now is one of those people, mayoral candidate Ari Goldkind. Mr. Goldkind, thanks for being here.
Evan, great to be on with you this evening.
You are running, you've participated in 10 debates. You were not invited to participate. Now, you and I both know this is always a political decision, who gets to be excluded and who gets to be included. What's your case? Why should you be included in the major debates?
I've earned it. I don't think you would find too many people that would dispute that. Since March 17th, the day I've launched, have put out policies on each and every issue that matter to Torontonians. Torontonians have taken hold, they've listened, they respect what I'm putting out, but we have a debate system that's run in a way that I simply can't make heads or tails out of.
Most people know you because of that one debate at a Jewish community center where you called out Rob Ford, saying that he'd, quote, made anti-Semitic comments, and you said you wanted an apology from both Rob Ford and from Doug Ford, and that had Doug Ford outlining the number of Jewish people he has as his dentist and his lawyer, etc. That was what you're known for. Why was that an important issue for you to raise?
That was an important issue for me to raise, but it started the night before when I declared what I think Ford stands for, which is falsify, overstate, repeat, deny. Mr. Ford didn't appreciate that. And the next night, Rob Ford came into the auditorium. He started staring at me, making these faces, and a question came up about how do you stop anti-Semitism? And I simply said, you have to have a mayor who doesn't think that way, whether it be anti-Semitism, racism, homophobia. You just can't have that in the mayor's chair. I gave Mr. Ford a very easy opportunity to apologize on behalf of his brother, and he proceeded to tell the nation about his lawyer, his doctor, and his accountant. Enough said.
There's more to you than this issue, although that gleaned a lot of press, and you've had a fair bit of press. The big issues in this campaign are transit. You haven't even put out a transit platform. I understand you're putting one out now. You're less than a week away. What does it tell Torontonians that for the last number of months, the transit debate's been going on, and you haven't even put out a platform?
I think this will tell Torontonians something important. For about 4 months, they've heard 3 fantasy plans. Click your heels 3 times and Doug Ford will produce subways. Smart Track, the funding issues with that are well documented. You don't need me to go into it. And Ms. Chow has a plan for a few more buses. That's helpful, and I think it's a good start. I have a transit plan that I waited to put out till tomorrow morning because I thought this week, given my performance, given my vision, my platform, my belief that the city needs investment and we have to stop turning taxes into a dirty word, that if I put transit out tomorrow morning, when I was in these debates on primetime TV, the city would say, whoa, this is a game changer. So I still think it's a game changer, and I'm hoping it will be. The
game change, just so folks know, you say Toronto's got an infrastructure problem and you want to tax every Torontonian 50 cents a day or about $182 a year. You want to put tolls on major highways like the Don Valley Parkway. You're basically, you want to raise money, tax the citizen.
Let's be honest about the problems that Toronto and many cities around this country face. Calgary had a huge revenue issue. They decided to pay for what they need. We are not being served in a city that anybody who lives here or visits here, we're a city paralyzed by gridlock. I don't believe taxes spent wisely by people that you can actually trust should be a dirty word or a 4-letter word. And I've put that out in a very honest, adult way with the city. And Evan, I'm very pleased to report back to you that people have really heard that message and say 50 cents a day per household, $1 billion over the first term as mayor. That's something people can get behind.
You know, you're polling less than 5%, but you still are one of those top-tier, second-tier candidates, and you know it. You have very little money behind you. This is your first time running for everything. You're not a former councillor. You're a lawyer. But you're not invited into these debates. What does that tell you about our democracy, that the big 3 get into the debates, but someone like you just doesn't get a chance? I mean, you've had 10 chances, but you're not in these big critical debates at the end.
That's exactly right. And I think it speaks ill on two levels. As you know, Evan, Doug Ford gave Toronto an ultimatum. I'll show up at a debate, but I won't show up if Ari Goldkind's invited. That's a simply bizarre notion to me about democracy, particularly when thousands of Torontonians appreciate my message, want to hear me hold people's feet to the fire. So the fact that Doug Ford controls democracy in Toronto, big problem. And then you have debate organizers who are sort of reluctant because they say, oh, he's one of 60, even though debate organizers know I'm not. So I'm in this weird twilight zone, but at the end of the day, I'm doing the best I can. I'm saying to people things that they want to hear. The chips will fall where they may.
Mr. Goldkind, are you suggesting, though, that the Doug Ford camp, not only have they said if you're in a debate they won't show up, but have they put pressure on media outlets to try to stop you from getting coverage?
It's not a secret. It's public. It's been reported. I can tell you it's been in The Sun. It's been on CBC. It's been on CP24. Nothing I'm telling you is inside baseball behind the scenes. But leaving Mr. Ford out, you also have debate organizers that say, look, these are the only three people that Torontonians should have to choose from. And that's not something that I agree with.
All right, you're releasing your transit platform tomorrow. We'll wait and see that. There's a week until Election Day in Toronto. Mr. Goldkind, I appreciate you coming on Power and Politics tonight.
Evan, it's great to be on with you. And anybody who wants to take a look at what I'm about or what I'm doing, www.ariformayor.com, and you will see for yourself.
And there is the pitch. All right, Mr. Goldkind, thanks so much.
Thank you, Evan.
Coming up, we're going to give you an update. Actually, I want to give you an update right now.